Hello, everyone. Welcome to our inaugural episode of Triptych Tock, where we'll have a trio of guests discuss their different perspectives on a chosen theatery topic for 15 minutes or less, guaranteed. This week's theme is scenic design, and I have here with me Kristen Kim, a senior of the class of 2021. She's an English major and studio art minor, and she's working on the Weiss Prize with her collaborator Jaden Brick, and she focuses on tech and design, and she is the quilt scenic designer. We also have Sarah Blocher, who's a recent alum of class of 2018. She's worked in Maryland, Pennsylvania, Massachusetts, Alabama, New York, Ohio. She's currently building her own business, Outbox Designs. You can find her on Instagram and Facebook, I believe. And she's focused on visual storytelling that's creative combinations of media and sustainable materials. And our third guest is Kent Barrett. He's a theatrical designer and artist who currently teaches at Dickinson College. He's a former company member with the Worcester Group, an NEA grant recipient, and an instructor at MIT. His works have also been in venues such as the Public, the Brooklyn Lyceum, and Lincoln Center, as well as internationally in 14 different countries. My goodness. So let's start with this question. Thank you for coming, everyone. What made you pursue scenic design in the first place?
Okay, Nina, I'm going to get rid of your picture here. Okay. Go ahead. Sarah Blocher, why don't you?
Okay, hi. So I had a fabulous high school theater teacher named Mary Lennon. And I took her only design course my senior year, and I just absolutely loved it. And I actually came to Dickinson studio art major, and then I kind of got more involved in theater, and I met Kent Barrett actually, and just got really involved in a scene shop, and so I decided to major in design, and that's where I've been ever since.
Yeah, similarly, Kent was also the reason why I started doing scenic and designy stuff. I took Sherry and Kent's design class my sophomore year, and that kind of put me on more of a design path after doing mostly just management and backstage work.
Cool. And me, I guess I got into scenic design in kind of a roundabout way, actually. My father was a lighting designer. That's what my brother does as well. And I got into scenic because when I got into undergrad, we had a larger design program, and scenic design was the hardest one to get into, to break into. There were not very many people did sound, and fewer people did lighting. More people did lighting, and then the most people did scenic design. So that was the top of the thing. So I tried to work my way up to become a scenic designer. Yeah. Nina, can I come back to you real quick here? Sorry.
Yeah. Okay. So thank you. So what's been your best experience or your proudest accomplishment doing scenic design so far in this part of your scenic design journey, I guess I should say?
I guess I'll go first again.
Yeah, you do it, so I love it.
Oh, wow. I think I gotta say, it's not the most glorious moment, but it's one of my favorite moments doing design is I designed this little show called Striking 12 in a warehouse in Frederick, which is where I'm from. And it's about the little match girl, and there's this moment where the little match girl is following her grandmother into heaven. And we had chosen to personify grandmother as this glowing willow tree, but it was very rustic and we had no budget. And so the way that our willow tree faded into the distance was it was on a dolly with me in the dark in the background, pulling this dolly, maneuvering it out and into the back of the warehouse, which was probably one of the coolest theater magic design moments that I'd ever come up with, even though it was just so rudimentary. And yeah, that's probably my favorite.
Kristen, you want to go for it?
Yeah, sorry, I wasn't sure if my audio had frozen or not.
No, you're fine.
I don't have a ton of sort of scenic design things on my resume so far, but I think one of the maybe most rewarding shows I worked on scenic wise was my friend Josh Bennett's senior project, which was called Manananggal. It was a show about sort of trying to chase down threads of the Asian American identity. And like Josh and I worked pretty closely together to sort of find a way both to like because the show itself was very compiled together. And so we talked about a lot of different smaller, almost like prop set dressing elements that could be combined into one big thing. And it was a really cool experience because it was, well, about like Asian Americanness as a concept, which is also something that like I think and write a lot about in my like academic life. And so it was like a nice sort of putting together of things. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, it's nice to hear this from you two too. I love it. Um, for me, I don't know. One of the experiences that I thought was really lovely was to do the scenery for Grapes of Wrath here at Dickinson College. I just learned the other day that it was Kristen's first show, and Sarah, was it one of your last shows here? No. Yeah.
Yeah, second to last because it was in the fall.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I really enjoyed that. It was we did it at the Dickinson College Farm, which I like live next door to and adore and love. And we tried to make wheat paste like it was based on like a street art technique where you make like these big blow up like black and white pictures of different community members, like people that were connected to the land, like different farmers in the area, people who worked at the Dickinson College Farm, etc. And we like blew these photos up into like really big backdrops and made these like cutouts and shapes and stuff around the farm. And the hope was that as people toured around the farm, they would like not only like see the play, but like see these other community members that are involved in land use. And the hope was that they would stay up for a long period of time. And so, because so many people that visit the farm have never experienced a farm or something like that before, so they would get to see other farmers in the area and stuff. And at this point, there's actually, I think, two of them still exist up on the farm, and that's 4 years now, so that's pretty cool. Yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah. All right, I'm going back to you, Nina.
I'm ready. Okay. So I didn't actually know some of those were still standing up. That's really cool. I haven't been to the farm in a while. So I guess, in your opinion, what's the most important tool or skill that you find you use a lot in scenic design? Like it could be something physical, like a literal tool, or it could be like patience or something like that. So do you want to start, Sarah?
Sure. I'd say being in tune with who you are as a person and like how you feel about certain things. Like that's a lot of gut reactions is like really what I base a lot of my design on. Like my first feeling when I read this script was X, Y, or Z. And so like by the time that this show goes up, I'm going to have seen it or read it or listened to it about 1,000,000 times. But whoever's watching it, that's going to be their first time seeing it. So whatever gut reaction you want them to feel is like what I really like kind of harp on. So just like being in tune with who you are, what makes you feel, how you feel, and like being aware of yourself in that respect. I know that sounds like really deep, but it's not meant to be as deep as it sounds. Yeah.
I think my answer would be sort of similar to that, in that I was like, when you asked the question, I was like, I don't know, like a tape measure, but thinking more like metaphorically, whatever.
Hey, tape
like,
measure's a great answer too, though, Kristen. That's awesome.
Always have a tape measure. Always.
I think like, yeah, I think tape measure is great, but in addition to that, I was like, I think like instincts of like Sarah said, what you feel, but also of like what looks good to you and like going with those instincts of what looks good and what looks right. Yeah, but also a tape measure.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I feel like you both have like really excellent instincts too, and I'm glad you trust them. Yeah, for me, it's sort of like a twofold thing. It's like one is to trust the space that you're working in, like that every space has its own like lines and shape and form and rhythm and things like that, and so that you either like work with those things, that like you acknowledge and understand what they are and try to like echo them or work in combination with them, or you like annihilate them completely and like try to break them out entirely. And the other big tool I think that's really important is just the tool of collaboration, which is hard to do sometimes, even when you're like working with people you love or yeah, I don't know, because everybody has different like visions and ideas of things, and I think actually the personalities of all the participants play as much, if not more, of a role into creating the thing than like the script or the materials or anything like that. So yeah. Here, y'all. I'm gonna put it back to the four of us real quick. Nina, is there anything else you want to talk about? Or are we about there?
No, I think we've reached the end. I think that went pretty well.
I know, for the first time, I was really scared and nervous. This is not.
Having us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you all for being here. And that's all the time we have today. So we kept it under 15 minutes. We did it. I hope any of our viewers learned a little something about scenic design. Maybe feel inspired to try it out. I don't know. Get a tape measure. Maybe a good investment to have. And you can join us next Wednesday at 6 o'clock on Facebook for another mini talk. And the topic is TBD. So we'll post about that.
Excellent. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, Nina.
Thanks, Nina. And thank you, Sarah and Kristen.
Yes, thank you.
Bye.